Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and today we are chatting over Skype with American singer and songwriter Levi Mitchell. Hi Levi, how are you going today?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
I am fantastic. Welcome to Rave It Up. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. It's been a bit of back and forth for us, but we finally got there.
We are here.
Good things to come to those who wait, right?
Exactly.
Now, since this is your first time on the show, we'd love to get to know you a little bit better. And I think we should start from the beginning because that only makes sense too, right? Is it true that you've been singing since you were 3? Was it always in your household or something, in your family?
Yes, I have been singing for as long as I can remember. I grew up in a very musical family. My mom was a professional singer and a performer in Vegas. She was an impersonator and a singer. She was singing in and out of cover bands. My dad has always been a music fan. He was never much of a singer past a musical growing up in school. Now, 3 years old was the first time I sang in front of a crowd. But I was trying to sing ever since I was born. I was just, yeah.
Jeez, 3 years old. You must have been really, really scared.
See, I don't think I've ever been scared. I've just been too excited. And then when I get on stage, I mess up because I'm too excited. I feel like when I'm on stage, I'm just like, oh, people are looking at me. Hello. But I've never been nervous. I've just been too excited and I go too fast and I mess up. But yeah, I think when I was 3, I think it was my church's Christmas program, and I sang a song called Little Christmas Lamb. I think that was it. I could be wrong, that was years ago, so.
I'm surprised you actually remember that if you were 3.
Yeah, well, I've been told many stories from my mom. She's like, you know how many people were there? She's very proud because I was 3 years old,
And look at you now, just continuing it on.
Yeah, trying my best.
So from a young age, were there any other careers that you wanted to pursue in your life, or was it always music?
Yeah, music was always a big part, but growing up a kid, my imagination was wild, still is wild, but I remember one project, I think it was in kindergarten, we were told to draw whatever we wanted to do, and the teacher and the rest of the class would have to guess, and so I drew myself with a Bible, a microphone, and a water hose. Because my dad was a firefighter growing up, so I always looked up to him, so I wanted to be a preaching, singing firefighter if that was possible. And then in the background, I drew a spaceship, like, maybe if I have time, I'll be an astronaut. So I had many of dreams. I've always been into space. Obviously, I didn't become a engineer to be in space. And, firefighting's I could always fall back on it, maybe. But singing has always been my main passion, and it's what I'm kind of best at. So, yeah, we'll see.
Oh, it's good that you're so passionate about it. I can tell. And even when I watch you perform, very good. That's all right. And on your website, it also says that you've also been an impersonator. Can you tell us more about that? Who did you impersonate?
Yes. So when I was when I was 12, this new guy named Justin Bieber was out. And he was singing on
Who's this?
And before I even knew who he was, all these little girls at my school and at church were like, you look like Justin Bieber. I was like, who? For months. And then one day, one person just hit me up on email, or they hit my mom up. Not sure. I was 12. And they were like, hey, would you come sing a few Justin Bieber songs at my daughter's party? And I was like, all right, I guess I got to learn who this Justin Bieber guy is. And at the age of 12, I did look. And before it was Justin Bieber, all I got was I looked like Zach and Cody.
I can see that, actually.
So for the first 12 years of my life, it was Zach and Cody. Then Justin Bieber came. I was like, oh, at least it's not Zach and Cody anymore. So I went and learned a few Justin Bieber songs. I think I learned One Time, One Less Lonely Girl. I think those are the 2 big songs at the time. And I go perform at this party in a purple jacket, white jeans, and I danced a little bit, sing. I was singing as Levi at the time, just singing Justin Bieber songs. But the daughter didn't know that. She thought I was Justin Bieber. So the word got around that I was a Justin Bieber impersonator. And then at the time being, I was saving money to produce and record my first album that I released when I was 14. And so I was like, you know what, this is a great way to make some money right now. So I started going around the country. I was out of town 2 days a week, performing maybe 4 to 5 times a week. That's the busiest week. And I was able to save up enough money to pay for my album. But to answer your question, because I've just been talking your ear off, I impersonated Justin Bieber for about 2 years. And on like a few websites, I was rated the #1 Justin Bieber impersonator in America. So that's pretty
Congratulations!
Good. I'm going to do something. I'm going to go all out for it.
That is a very interesting fact about you.
Yes.
And I'm guessing nobody says that you look like Justin Bieber now.
No. I got tired of it at one point, so I cut my hair short. I got the little quiff. And guess who got his haircut in just a few months after?
He's copying you!
The Biebs. And I was like, dang. So I impersonated him for a little bit longer, and then I dropped my album, and then ever since then, I kind of just been doing my own thing, in and out of groups, all kinds of stuff.
And you are also the former member of the original boy band project. How was your experience with that?
It was an amazing experience that I'll always look back upon with fond memories with the boys. So when I was 14, I just dropped the album I was telling you about. And I had 3 opportunities on the table. I had a record deal. I was on The Voice before it aired. And then I had this opportunity with the boy band. The record deal wasn't really... didn't fit me at that time, so I went ahead and declined it. Now, it was The Voice. I made it to the blind auditions. And so that was the one where they actually aired on TV. And then I had this opportunity with boy band. And they were both... I had a meeting with the boy band guys and The Voice all in one weekend. So we came down to LA from Arizona, and I auditioned for The Voice. And then I met these people. I understood who was behind them. And I was like, wait a minute. Say I won The Voice, I'd be working with the exact same people anyway. So I was like, you know what? Skip The Voice. I get to go on this journey with 4 other guys who love to do the same thing with me around the same age. And I get developed. I get to become a better dancer, better singer, all of the above, better performer. And I was like, you know what? This sounds like a great adventure. So let's go for it. So I turned down The Voice, and I become one of the members, the youngest member of the boy band project.
Wow. And does the boy band project still exist? Are they still doing music?
So we lost a member, and then we continued to go on. Things got a little better. We got some more opportunities for about 4 months. And then, long story short, I left the group in a disagreement with the people that wanted to take helm of the project. Nothing with the boys. I'm still good friends with all the boys today. I left the group, and then 2 days after, the rest of the group broke up. And then a few months after, the manager deleted all of our videos off of YouTube, all of our pictures off of Instagram, and found 5 new boys and used the same name and everything like that. So if you look up the boy band project, there's a few videos you can find with me in it, because luckily there's some awesome fans who downloaded all the videos and re-uploaded them. But then you'll also find another group of guys. And then those guys broke up, I think. I'm not too sure. I know they broke up. I don't know if there's a new one, because I've kind of moved on now. But I have no idea what they're doing now.
It's kind of rude, though, to delete all of your videos and your posts, all that hard work.
Yeah, I was a little heartbroken, because I spent a whole year and a half of my life growing up in front of the camera, and then to have it kind of deleted, and I was like, dang. But luckily, I could find, like, the fans re-uploaded them, so that's great.
That's good. You can always rely on the fans.
Always.
So now that you've experienced being in a band and being a solo artist, which one do you prefer?
Man, honestly, I get asked this all the time, and I say there's pros and cons to both of them. If you're going to be in a group, luckily I was blessed to be in a group with 4 other guys who I adored. They were all my older brothers. I was able to look up to them, and we all really enjoyed it. Being a solo artist, the aspect that I realize I love of the group is just being able to do it with others. I love the creative freedom I have as a solo artist, and being able to really express how I feel and who I am as an artist. But sometimes, whether it's on the road, I don't have that bond or that corroboration I have with other guys to share it with, other than my parents, and my dog. Like, there's no one else to share it with, which is what made a group so special. So there's pros and cons to both of them, but I think as of right now, solo artist is best fitting for me, just because I'm growing as a person. I just graduated college, and now is just a great time for me to just really dive in and tell everybody who I am as an artist. So I miss being in a group, but only because I miss the boys, if that makes sense.
There you go. We love you as either, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna be myself in either or, so there you go.
Now, I don't know if you know, but I originally found out about you through YouTube. I saw the video of you busking on Hollywood Boulevard performing your Will.i.am covers, and then next you know, Will.i.am gets out of his car to watch you and then actually eventually perform with you. Yeah, totally normal.
It's whatever, you know. After that happened, I was like, maybe if I sing a Justin Timberlake song, he'll pop up out of nowhere. I was like, that was a great day. Yeah, that was crazy. I was just singing my little Black Eyed Peas medley that I have, where I sing like, I got a feeling, that power, and where's the love. And then he pulled up, and I just saw him watching. I was like, that's pretty awesome. I did not expect him to sing with me. I was like, that's what really surprised me, was him getting on the mic with me. Now, I'm not even gonna lie, I read some of the comments online and everyone thinks it's super staged. I just want to say right now, once for all, I had no idea he was gonna sing with me. And they're like, he has 2 mics. Let me explain. One mic goes to my loop pedal and one mic goes to the speakers. If you have one mic going to both, especially in Hollywood, you'll get feedback and then it's just a bunch of noise. Then you can't perform because then it sounds bad. So, bam. But overall, the experience was awesome. It's definitely a memory I'll always hold dear to my heart because it was awesome.
Were you a huge fan of his before this happened?
Let me be honest.
Awkward. No.
I love him as a person, as an entrepreneur, but I've never been a big fan of the music because I was just never really into that heavy pop scene like he was. I've always been into that. I grew up in a very gospel-oriented house, so I've listened to a lot of gospel, soul, R&B, and up until just about the past couple of years, have I listened to what's on the radio. Like, it's just been me and whatever my mom and dad played for me, so the 80s and the 70s, and so when everyone else was listening to Black Eyed Peas, I was listening to the Commodores and Earth, Wind and Fire and the Eagles and Little River Band, REO Speedwagon. Like, it's super vast. So it was just very recently. I was like, let me see who was popular, and then I saw Will.i.am, and I made the medley. Next thing you know, he's singing with me. So
just an overnight thing, totally normal.
Yeah, you know, totally. Just took a nap. Next day, there I am.
Thank you for singing these songs. I just randomly was driving down the street and saw you. I was like, oh shucks, he's playing one of my joints. And I just wanted to come out here and just rock with you on the corner like this. So thanks for keeping the love alive. Thank you guys.
So after he performed the song with you, did he stick around to have a chat to you, or did he just get back in the car and leave?
Well, in the video, he just got back out and left. But luckily, he was actually looking for singer-songwriters to shoot a TV show at the time. And the TV show didn't get picked up. He has another TV show that got picked up called Planet of the Apps. But he had another show that he was working on, and he casted a group of like 7 to 8 singer-songwriters. I was one of them. We all got to live in his house right next to his studio for a few weeks, and it was like a songwriting competition. So he gave us a song idea, he gave us a track, he paired us up with people, and we had to write a song in like 30 minutes, go record it, and then the best song wins. The songwriters who wrote the worst song, one of them went home. So we did that for a few weeks. That was awesome. I got to basically live at his studio for, I think, about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I met so many amazing people. Fun story, I won the first challenge that we did, and so me and the girl I got paired up with, we got to perform with the Black Eyed Peas the very next day because they had like a little pop-up show. So me and her got to sing Where Is the Love, Fergie's part in Where in the Love. And me and her also got to sing the part that we helped write in a song that they're about to release. I'm not sure how, but that they're going to release soon. So whether or not the show gets picked up and airs, I don't really care, because just that sounds bad, but just the experience is what's I got to experience it, whether other people believe me or not, and whether it's on TV or not. Like, I got to experience it, and it was a blast, and I got some great connections out of it. So at the end of the day, him stopping and singing with me while I busk did turn out to be something really awesome.
That is fantastic. How is he as a person? Because obviously we watch him on TV and stuff, but is he really as nice as everyone thinks he is?
He is a giant dork, and it's awesome. He is a giant dork. He comes in, you know, dressed super cool. And the first thing he said, like, I think one of the last days we were shooting, I had this really cool jacket on. And he just started making jokes like I was in That's So 70s show. And I had the long hair, obviously. And I had these cool glasses on. And I did straight up look like I came out of Woodstock. But there wasn't a time where I saw him where he wasn't cracking a joke. He's honestly one of the most genuine guys I've ever met. That's why I was saying, like, when I got to meet him, I was like, wow, I have such a newfound respect for this guy and the other members of the Black Eyed Peas, Taboo and Apple ID. So I was like, all of them are, like, if I saw them on the street, I can 90% chance say they remember me and I remember them, obviously, and we could pick up a conversation. That's how cool they are. And fun story, my mom could even corroborate that how nice he is, because my mom got, after I performed with the Black Eyed Peas, we were all chilling outside the studio. Will gets in his car, and then I'm hanging out with a few of the other songwriters with my mom because she came to the show, and we're all kind of like freestyling just as a joke. And then Will comes by, and one of the other songwriters puts my mom on blast to Will, say, hey, she freestyles. And then my mom freestyles for Will, and then my mom drops a super flame rap. So my mom and Will.i.am are pretty much best friends now. No, not really, but now Will knows my mom like can drop a mad 16. So it was just overall, the whole experience as a whole was just amazing.
That's awesome. So does your mom still do music right now, does she?
It's something she'll always do. It's just a part of her. But right now she's a real estate agent in Arizona and California. So she's got her license in both states, and she's just kicking butt and taking names. Because you can sell one house in Arizona, just in order to like make it by, you have to sell like a few houses in Arizona. Sell one house in California, geez, that's like triple what you make in Arizona. So she's really kicking butt and taking names right now. So, but eventually, she told me that I'm going to produce her next album. So whenever she wants to get in the booth, she can. Obviously, that's my mom, and I'm looking forward to hopefully helping her get her next project out.
Otherwise, you'll just continue the music in the family.
Exactly.
And you do have a new EP out now called Paper Roses, yes. And everyone should go check it out because it is amazing. Like, you should be so proud of yourself, Levi.
Thank you very much.
That's all right. How long did it take you to create this beautiful masterpiece? Was it in the pipeline for a while?
The story was in the pipeline for a while. Okay, long story short, it follows the story of a relationship, the rise and fall of a relationship. So the first 3 songs, I'm falling for a girl, and it's just great. And then after the last 3 to 4 songs, you realize that it's not about the relationship with the girl, it's the relationship I had with my best friend at the time. And then you're like, what? You mean this whole project's about a love triangle? Mind blown. So that's the story. So I went through that whole experience a good 2 years ago. And one song I wrote immediately, and the first 3 songs I met when I met her, and throughout the time where me and her kind of had a thing, kind of didn't. It was off and on. She was on tour, blah, blah, blah. And then the last 3 songs I finished up when I realized what was happening with my best friend and her at the time. So, long story short, it took about 2 years to get to this point. But just in the last 6 to 7 months is when I really like hunkered down and finished producing it and recorded it. It was all written. I just needed to record it and get the artwork done and all that stuff. So basically, it's 2 years, but it only took me 6 months to do it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and you also released it early. How come?
Yeah, I reached. Okay, it was an accident. It was an accident.
You accidentally uploaded it.
So I uploaded it. And the third party who was supposed to get it on Apple and Spotify and Amazon, I guess it really didn't come out early. It just came out early for us on the West Coast of America. And so I was like, oh, it came out 5 hours early. Because it was supposed to come out at midnight that night. And it did come out at midnight on the East Coast. So everyone on the East Coast thought I was tripping. Because they're like, no, it came out on time. I was like, what are you talking about? But for me, us on the West Coast, it came out early, which was super awesome because I was actually leaving the studio recording live drums for the next project that I'm working on. And so it was a great day, And then to cap it off with my project being dropped early, it was just an amazing day. I got to celebrate it with my mom in the car and one of my best friends, Elijah. He's my drummer. So we just had a blast.
Wow, that's awesome. And where did the name Paper Roses come from? I know it's the title of one of your tracks, the outro, yeah. But how did you come up with it?
So it's one is just a very cool name.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that.
And this question kind of is like a Pandora's box of answers, so be prepared. So I like to write my songs on paper. It just gives it like a more personal touch when you write to me, and I remember the lyrics better when I write them. Okay, so that's where the paper portion of it is, and paper is very fragile. Now, let's move to the rose part. Most times than not, a rose symbolizes love. And all these songs are a love song, whether or not it's a heartbreak or it's a crush or it's a cutesy, song. They're all love songs. And then the roses are blue. Now, a blue rose doesn't exist. If there is a blue rose, it's man-made, it's manufactured, so it doesn't exist, and a blue rose symbolizes the impossible. I was told when I left the boy band that it was impossible for me to be a believer in Jesus, to be a success in music. So I made the roses blue to basically be like, you know what, I'm going to do the impossible and go ahead and step out in faith and be a success. And also, a blue rose in some cultures is to believe that if someone holds a blue rose, that they come from a royal bloodline. And I believe that I believe I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus. And so I believe that God made me. And so God's the king. And so I come from a royal bloodline. So there's all kinds of different aspects you can look at the word paper roses. But the consumer version is that I write all my songs on paper. My heart's fragile, and all my songs are love songs. So paper roses, the paper symbols my heart, and I'm putting my heart out in all these songs, and that's pretty much it. I need to go ahead and figure out an easier answer, like a 1 to 2 sentence answer, instead of all these answers being like a flippin' book. But hey, you asked, so there you go.
Well, we prefer the long stories, so we can really dig deep.
Then you got the perfect guy, because all I do is talk.
You're the best guest for this show, then. I gotta say, that's incredible. Most people don't put that much effort into the name of an album or an EP.
Yeah, I mean, I love putting all my effort into it, because I feel like one listen through, you'll be like, oh, these songs are cool. Second listen through, you'll be like, oh, wow, there's a story. Third listen through, you'll listen to the story, like, oh, snap. Oh, he said this line in that song, and he referenced it in this song, like, oh my goodness, mind blown. And then fourth, every time you listen to it, I love it when I hear a song or a project, and every time I listen to it, I learn something new about the project. So I love to do that, and if I can do that with my project, I will. So I think I accomplished that somewhat in Paper Roses.
And the EP has 7 tracks on it, but which one is your favorite? Is that hard?
This happens with a lot of songs. It tends to be the last song I recorded. So I think the last song I recorded was Petals. That one's one of my favorites, but I can't really choose. It's either that one, it's either Petals or That's My Baby. So track 3 or track 6. Those are my 2 favorites. And those are also my 2 favorites to perform, as well as my go-to. My go-to is really fun to perform.
Yeah, I was going to say, That's My Baby and my go-to was definitely one of my faves when I had to listen to it. So,
Thank you.
No problem. Now, something else that I really admire about you, you're staying pure to marriage. And,
Yes.
Not many people are this day and age. And, I love that you're also spreading the word about it to your fans. So what made you want to do this? What age did you make this huge decision?
Well, growing up, I grew up in a Christian household, like I kind of mentioned prior. So I was always told that, you should wait for marriage to have sex, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I'm 5. I'm not really going to go out there and try to do that right now anyway. So, cool, whatever. But once I got to like 8th grade in high school, I saw that everyone else made sex such a big deal. And I was like, I just don't get it. And then I just did more research in it, dove into the word a little bit more. And then I had some friends' lives honestly just get buck wild, like they had kids straight out of freshman year. And I was like, whoa, I love kids and all, but I'm not ready to have them. So, but when people ask me, like, what's my reason, my first reason has nothing to do with my faith. It has all to do with this thing called the comparison factor. So if I never have sex, and maybe I'm being a little bit too, like, straightforward for this, so just let me know if I am, but I'm just going to give you the most honest answer I can give. If I go around and have sex with like 10 girls before I get married, I'm always going to have those 10 girls, and I'm always going to be comparing them to my wife. So she might not live up to one of those other 10 girls, but if I save myself for marriage, my wife is going to be the best thing I ever experienced in that aspect of life. So I'll never have to wonder what my life with another woman would be like. So the woman I marry, I think my purity is the best gift I can give my wife on the wedding day, because that's literally like, I'm giving you my all. I'm giving you the one thing that I promised to God that I would save for you. And so, yeah, that's kind of the short answer, which isn't that short, but it's still, there it is.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm so glad we're raising awareness of this, you know, it is important.
Yeah, and I chose to step out about it mainly, not really to convert people, because that's not what I'm doing it for. I put it out there because I wanted to be vocal about it in case there were other people who were waiting and felt like they were the only ones. And so hopefully as I continue, as my music continues to grow, that platform will continue to grow. And other people, if they feel the same way as me, or maybe they're thinking about it, just letting them know that, hey, I'm waiting. And so you got someone to confide in, you got someone to relate to. And I just hopefully I can be that beacon of hope to other people.
Definitely. Because I think in this day and age, sex has just, you know, I'm very old-fashioned like that as well, and I think it's just totally lost its meaning. It's like, yeah, just sleep with anybody and everybody. Yeah. You know, it feels good, but it's like, really, it should be a lot more important than that.
Yeah, it should be definitely shared between someone you love. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's the whole connection thing. It's becoming one sort of thing, as weird as that sounds.
No, I get it. I got you.
Exactly, I'm talking to the right person. And speaking of love, I really love listening to your song 3 Words. It's absolutely beautiful. Were you in love when you wrote that song?
No, I was not. No, I actually, I had a meeting with this other producer. And I played him some of my other songs. This was about when I was 16. And he said, hey, I want you to write like a beachy song. Like a Jason Mraz, beach type vibe song. And I was like, okay. So I went home and I had that same guitar lick. And I was like, what's something super relatable, super vague? Now, obviously, I had a crush on the girl. But I wouldn't say I love her. And it's at that point, you know. And it's honestly, it's about the same girl I wrote Paper Roses about. So I wrote the song around the same time. So I just wanted to make the most vague but yet meaningful song at the same time. So I wrote that song, and I actually recorded it about a year before I even released it. So I wanted to release it on Valentine's Day or my birthday, February 12th that year, and I didn't get it finished in time. And so I had the video and I had everything done for the whole year of 2016, and my mom and dad were like, dude, just drop the video. Just drop it. I'm like, no, I just don't know why. So I was like, so my birthday and Valentine's Day comes around again. I'm like, you know what? I should drop it before Paper Roses comes out. Because I think Paper Roses, production-wise, is better than 3 Words, like quality. Just because I know what I'm doing a little bit more. But I was like, you know what? I might as well put it out there so I don't always have it hanging over me like, oh, I have an unreleased song. But yeah, so that song doesn't have as heavy as a backstory, other than I wrote that song pretty early in the crush stage. That's why I think I love you. Like I think maybe, I don't know. That's so yeah. And but when I put it out, a lot of people like back home in Arizona were like, yo, this is a great wedding song. So okay.
Aww, cool. That's so cute. And it had to be released on Valentine's Day. Like, come on. It's a beautiful love song. It had to be. It's very smart. Good timing.
Thank you.
Now, even though you've already achieved so much, Levi, what else can we expect from you in the future? What's up next after this lovely EP?
Right on. So my focus right now, so I just graduated college and then I dropped the EP. So my goal right now is basically I'm in I'm in rebranding process because I was in a band, I was solo, I was in a duo, now I'm solo again. Took a break for college, now I'm a solo artist again. So now I'm just rebranding myself and starting to build up a catalog of music. My goal, it's going to be super hard to meet, but I'm going to try my best. I want to release 3 singles a month and a video to one of those singles every month following Paper Roses. So September 11th, which is tomorrow when we're doing this interview, I am releasing a single called Say It Ain't So. So when you're watching this, go check that out too. Say It Ain't So. And then right now I'm working on 2 other singles to drop this in September. Then October I'll do the same. November I'll do the same. Then October I'll do the same. And December maybe I'll drop a few Christmas covers. Hopefully, and in the meantime, in the beginning of 2017, I'll drop another album, not an EP, an album that I'm working on that right now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 songs. I have a whiteboard over here with all the songs. So 12 songs. Every day I seem to make another song that I like. I'm like, maybe I should put that on the album. So every day it's growing. But so basically, stay tuned for all the singles I'm dropping before the end of this year. And then at the beginning of next year, hopefully I'll have a new album release. And then I can go on tour. And because now I'll have an EP and an album to tour off of. And so I'm really, right now, end of 2017, like I am just focusing on getting out as much content as possible.
You are going to be so busy.
Oh, I know. I spend more time at the studio than I do at my house.
Respect. I got respect for you. Because that's a big goal, and I truly believe you'll be able to do it.
I'm trying.
The fans love all the new content, so we all appreciate it.
Awesome.
Great. Well, we'll keep a lookout for that. And I did notice on your Facebook, you posted a selfie recently with the caption, "You're trying to tell me I don't look like I belong in some type of vampire or werewolf show." I laughed at this because I actually do see that. Have you ever tried out acting? Because,
oh yeah,
that's something in the future maybe?
Yeah, so I grew up and I did a lot of plays growing up. It's always just entertaining people is super fun for me. I get such a kick out of it. I think like my first big production back in Arizona, I played Ralphie in A Christmas Story. So I love acting. As of lately, I've been doing a lot of auditions for like a lot of commercials and stuff like that. But especially when Twilight came out, one, because I'm super pale, they're like, "Yo, you look like Edward," or "You look like a vampire." And so I've always kind of had that ever since Twilight came out. I've always had that, "Yo, you look like a vampire." I was like, thank you, because in Twilight they're all good looking. So thank you very much. I have tried out acting, and it's definitely another passion of mine. It's not up there with music in the passion department, but it's super close. As long as I get to enjoy myself and make a living off of it, that's awesome. That's all I could ever ask for, is enjoy what I get to do for life. So yes, it's definitely there. I've definitely had a lot of callbacks for like independent films, and that's where they all start. That's where you got to start. I can't just go straight to Marvel and be the next superhero, which is my goal, because I'm like the biggest comic book fan ever. So that's a goal, is to be in a superhero movie, preferably be a superhero. But just if I was in one, I was like, yo, even if I was like a thug and I got killed by the bad guy, I'm like, all right, hey, I was in the movie. I was in it. I'll take it. So, but yes, acting is definitely something I keep in the back of my mind as a possibility.
Well, if Chris Hemsworth moves on from Thor, I could see you as Thor.
I'll be baby Thor.
Yeah, you'll take it.
I'll take it.
Well, we'll keep a lookout. Hopefully we can expect some Thor/vampire movies in the future for you.
Yeah, maybe there's this might be too nerdy, or maybe there's a Thor and Blade crossover, because Blade's a vampire hunter, and then Thor, I got the hair, bam, there I am, perfect. Marvel, get at me.
Just create your own movie, Levi. So, yeah.
I just did it right there, bam.
Hard work, but it'd be totally worth it. Now, Levi, also, what advice would you give to the listeners who might want to follow their dreams of becoming a singer?
From my personal experience, you're gonna hear the word no a lot more than you hear the word yes. But it's those yeses that make all the no's count and make all the no's worth it. If it really is your passion, those no's won't discourage you. And if it's really what you're meant to do, those no's won't have nothing to do with your yes, with your success. So if it's what you want to do, keep going for it. There's always going to be someone who is better than you, but no one's a better you than you. If that's what your gift is music, no one can do your gift better than you because it's yours. So own it, keep pushing, doing it, and eventually, hey, you'll be able to live your life doing what you do.
Oh, I love that. That's great advice. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, it's making me sweat. I had to come up with that on the spot, but it was genuine.
You are welcome. Now, we are getting to the end of the interview, unfortunately. It's gone very fast. I know, it's been a lot of fun. But as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
Oh, man. Don't get so caught up in a certain girl. But then I wouldn't have paper roses. So I don't know. What would I tell 14-year-old me? Your voice is going to change. Your voice is going to change. Don't be freaked out. It'll come back. Because when I went through puberty, there was a small span of my life. I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to sing again. But don't worry. I started singing again, and here I am still doing music. So don't be scared, Levi. You'll be good. Every guy goes through it. Every girl goes through it. It happens. It's change. It's natural. Just breathe.
I love it. There you go. Good advice for all the young listeners too.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone goes through it. It's totally normal. And before we go, if the listeners would like to contact you, Levi, or find out what you're up to, where should they go?
Yes. So you can follow me at Levi Mitchell. That's Levi like the jeans, Mitchell like Mitchell, on all social media platforms, except for Snapchat. That's the Levi Mitchell. Levi Mitchell is mine. I just forgot the password, and I don't know what email I connected to it. So it's the Levi Mitchell on Snapchat, Levi Mitchell on everything else, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I try to respond to everybody. So if you have questions or prayer requests, or you want to talk to me about PTM, or maybe you want some music advice, whatever it is, I love talking to y'all. So reach out to me, and I'll try my best to reach out to you. And if you keep reaching out and there's for some reason that I do not see it, there's a certain word or phrase, you can always tweet me and I'll always go out of my way to respond. Hashtag the cookie is baked.
Why did you create the cookie is baked?
Me and my mom and dad, we have a secret code word. So whenever we want to get out of a situation, we'll say, I almost said it, but I'm not going to say it right now. So I came up with another one for fans if they want to do get my attention, like it's really urgent, or please follow me, then I came up with the cookie is baked. So I tell it to people at meet and greets. They're like, can you follow me? I'm like, yes. Tweet me, hashtag the cookie is baked, and I'll follow you, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's one of those things where like, how do I know you'll see my tweet? It's like, I don't know. The cookie is baked. Tweet me that. And then it just became my thing.
And then just all fans are just going to use that hashtag. You'll be bombarded.
Yeah. You know what? If they all used hashtag the cookies baked, then it's trending. And then boom, I'm trending.
Nothing to complain about. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, Levi. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun, and would love to have you on again in the future. Maybe when the album comes out next year.
Yes. Or right before it, and I can give y'all sneak peeks or whatever.
Oh, exclusive! Yes, please. Definitely. And hopefully in the future we can meet in person. Are you thinking of coming to Australia anytime soon? Hopefully on a tour?
Australia has always been one of my places. Like, as a kid, I always dreamed of having like a house there. So maybe if I don't come on tour, I'll just live there.
Please do. I can show you around the best places to buy.
All right.
And then we'll go from there. Yes.
Maybe my mom will get her license there too. She's already got one in California and Australia. Maybe she'll get her license in Australia. I said Australia, but I meant Arizona. But you know what I mean.
She's going to dominate the world.
Yeah, that's what she does.
Have you been to Australia before?
I have not. The only place I've been to out of America is Bermuda. Super beautiful. It's like an island that's only 5 miles long. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're going to travel more of the world then.
Yes, that's definitely number one on my bucket list, is just to go see the world while I can.
The great thing about music is you can do it with your music.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
Go do it, and we'll keep in contact and we'll organise something
Absolutely.
in the future. Well, I hope you'll enjoy today's interview, and if you'd like to check out any of our other interviews, visit our website, raveituptv.com. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!